and welcome to Garden Invaders.
Yes, we're here. Where are we?
Near Yule.
No, we're about 100 miles from where I live.
Oh dear, anyway. Well, today what are we doing?
We're sorting out another really dodgy garden, because that is what we do best.
We do indeed. Now, we've got lots of hard landscaping materials, lots of people to put the garden together, but we're only going to have some plants if the garden owners can answer Mark's horticultural trickery questions.
That will be a formality, I'm absolutely sure. My biggest concern is that I think the invaders have completely lost the plot. Have you got their tablets? Go on, knock on the door.
All right, I will. I think I know how to do this.
Today we're with Leslie Ann and her fiancé Tim. They're both police officers in London. They've tried very hard in the garden and put in lots of plants, but Holly, bless her, chewed them all up when she was a puppy. They've called in Garden Invaders to help them create a tranquil paradise. You both work very hard,
Yeah.
you know, and you just shift work and all the rest of it, which is pretty tough
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So, is it something that this is a relaxation area for you to kind of chill out, get away from work?
Definitely, yeah. We do 12-hour shifts, so you do want to come home.
Do you ever see each other then?
No, if we can help it.
You're lying, look. You must have seen each other.
We're just passing.
What, passing in the corridor? I think not.
Well, you've got the bones of a good garden, I think, because you're not overlooked at all, really, are you?
No.
It's fantastic.
It's big as well.
And then you've got all these trees and things beyond the garden, sort of borrowed view, which is nice. And you've got a few shrubs that the dog hasn't destroyed. So there's
Yeah.
and a bit of a patio, which I think we might be able to do something with.
Have you had some thoughts about what you want in the garden?
Just something friendly for the baby. Something hard wearing for the dog. Something where we can relax.
Just literally nice air, because we get the sun pretty much, well, when it's
day.
sunny, pretty much all day.
Anything you absolutely love or absolutely hate is very important for Andy.
I just like that.
You like your shed?
No, the one growing on it.
Oh, the ceanothus.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a blue thing going on here then. Is blue something important to you colour-wise?
Yeah, I think so. We like blue and silvery blue.
Okay, all right, excellent. So who is going to be answering the questions with me then?
Me.
You don't look very excited about that, do you?
You can't blame
Could
me.
bring on an early birth here if we're not careful.
I hope not.
Well, we're going to go around to your next door neighbour's garden, which is
Okay.
lovely, sort out the questions. We're going to leave you two together, sort out the garden with the invaders.
Right, let's go and do something then, Tim. So I think what we're going to have to do is separate the dog out, perhaps, from the rest of the garden, so at least give the garden and your lawn a chance. Thanks, Matt. So what we're going to do, we're going to put in a big circular lawn here, try and get as much grass for you to mow as possible.
Fantastic.
And then we're going to have a dog run off over to the side there, so sort of shunt it out the way. And then because you've got this existing patio, we're going to keep the good bits, but then maybe lift up the bits that are all falling apart, the shoddy bits, and then put a circular brick into there as well. Get some real strong shape into it all. And then over here, we're going to have somewhere to sit in the corner so you can relax away from the house.
Great. Fantastic.
Thanks, Guy. Now, what are you going to be? You're going to be an invader for the day, you lucky man. There you go. So,
Wonderful.
we'll stick that on and then we'll get cracking. First thing we'll do is the dog run.
Great.
Okay.
Brilliant.
We are close enough to your garden, still hear the noise and the banter, but we have a fence to divide it
Can't
off.
see
So
anything.
you can't see what's going on. It's very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But your job
Yep.
is to get the plants,
Okay.
which frankly is quite an important role.
Yeah.
Because without the plants, the garden isn't going to look that good. Believe me. Okay? Climbing roses to start with.
Okay.
That your kind of thing?
Yeah, they're pretty.
They're very nice. Lovely
Yeah.
colours. Very nice indeed. Down here,
Okay.
first of your two groups of perennials. All right, with the lilies in there. Absolutely gorgeous. Second group of perennials down here, including the campanulas. Lovely. A group of shrubs. Lavender's at the front there, obviously, but also you love your ceanothus that's next to your shed. Similar kind of flowers, but different plant, Hebe, but gives you that lovely blue as well, which is fantastic. Then over here, spot all that lot, all the blue pots, lots and lots of them, and the big urn, and some other little bits and pieces for you, which is kind of your finishing touches for the garden, but that's not down to you. That's down to Tim, has to answer a gardening question.
Okay.
All right, to get that little lot. Your job is just simply to get the plants.
Okay.
We'll start over there with the climbing roses for question one. We have 3 disease-resistant miniature climbing roses here. The first is Warm Welcome. It's ideal for a small terrace, a wall or pot, and it's useful for climbing in very restricted places. The second, Rosa Nice Day. Another miniature climber, has a lovely smell, but grows to a height of about 6 feet, which is pretty big in my book. And Laura Ford, also fragrant, it's hardy and disease resistant. What a top bunch. Lovely, lovely roses would look fantastic in your garden.
Yeah.
The moment has come.
First question.
First question. Now, how worried have you been about this?
Petrified.
Why?
Because I think empty garden. No flowers.
Yeah, well, I can't put your mind at rest there, unfortunately, because you're absolutely right. But I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
Okay.
All right? Just take your time. Don't rush into an answer. Here's your first question. What is the characteristic shape of the flowers of the Campanula family? Are they star-shaped, bell-shaped, or butterfly-shaped?
I think it's bell-shaped, the lilies.
You think it's bell-shaped? I'm going to take that as your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's bell-shaped.
Oh, tell me.
That's the right answer.
Yay!
Yeah, very good. Well done.
Thank you.
It's easy, isn't it? You got the wrong ones. Those are lilies. The Campanulas are over there.
Oh no.
The blue ones.
Okay.
Doesn't matter though. You still got it right. Brad and Goo, as we call him, will be round very shortly to pick up the roses.
I think it's important to work with what you've got in a garden, and to be honest, in this garden we haven't got a lot, but what we have got is this patio. So we're going to change the shape of it and put a bit of interest into it, and we're going to do that with the whole garden because it hasn't really got much going on. So I'm introducing a strong circular theme to it. I'm going to create a gravel garden in this area as well, and that's going to lead round and tie in this blue shed over here. It's got the ceanothus growing against it, and that's got a bit of a blue theme that Leslie Ann likes. So we're going to continue that round here. And the dog's important, so we're going to have a dog run over in this corner to keep it away from the lawn, which is Tim's domain. He wants a great big lawn, so that's going to be over here. Dog shunted out over the way. But at the end of the day, when they come home from their long shifts, they're going to want somewhere to sit down and relax. So in this area, we're going to have a nice patio.
So how excited are you about the baby?
Very, very excited.
5 weeks' time.
Yep.
Fantastic. Garden will be sorted
I know.
if you get some more plants.
Yep.
All right. Next group up for grabs, the first perennials.
Yeah.
Our first batch of perennials includes Regal Lily, introduced from China in 1903. It's not fussy about either soil type or location. Cornflower or Centaurea montana, it's a popular cottage garden flower and it seeds like mad, so it's great value. And Lychnis orange dwarf, common name, Arkwright campion. It prefers well-drained soil in full sun. They're lovely, especially the cornflowers, I love those, and the blue, which you love.
Yeah.
So here's the question. What is the other name for the king cup, which indicates the type of soil in which it thrives? Is it the mountain marigold, the desert marigold, or the marsh marigold?
I'm gonna go with marsh marigold.
Don't sound very sure about that.
No, bit of a guess.
Correct answer.
Is it?
Yes, you see, it's easy, isn't it? Yeah. Not a problem at all. They're all cheering down at the police station now. These are going to get whisked into your garden as well by somebody. They're all so busy. I'll get someone. Hang on. Okay, drinks up, boys.
Over in this side of the garden, we're building a dog run. Now, instead of using boring old fencing, like the sort of typical thing you see around the edge of a garden, we're using something a bit more attractive. Going to make a bit of a feature of this. You can get a lot of very interesting fencing products now. You couldn't a few years ago, and it's worth taking advantage of them. Now, the way to do it is to concrete in the posts, preferably using fast-setting cement, because it means that in 5 or 10 minutes, it's set and you can actually fix the panels. Here, what we've done is we've painted the posts first, because we're not going to actually paint the panels. So when we offer it up, instead of having to paint round and make a right old mess, that makes it much, much easier. We've moved the kennel back there because there was a bit of a gap behind that shed and the dog could escape. So we shut that off, and at this end we need to shut this off with a gate, but we haven't actually got one. So what we're going to do is get Mark to make one, because it should keep him out of trouble, if anything can.
Before we move on to our next group, tell me a bit about your job, because you're both police officers, obviously, we know that. And don't take this the wrong way, but you're not the biggest person in the world. Now, I always thought that to be a police officer, you need to be 9'6" and have size 48 feet. Clearly not. Clearly not.
Well, Tim's got the big feet. No, I work in the control room, so I answer the phones and deal with 999 calls. If you ring for the police, I'll answer the phone, and then I'll give the officers the call and they go and deal with it.
But you do all the fun stuff like, you know, the trooping of the colour.
Trooping of the colour. I get to see it all from my control room.
Right, control room, I love it. Excellent. You're power mad, you are.
That's it.
Next group up for grabs,
Okay.
your second group of perennials. Penstemon Windsor Red. Now, not a lot of people know this, but they're a type of foxglove, so of the Digitalis family. They do need cutting right back when they die down, and they'll grow up with new wood next year. They're a native of northern Central America. And Campanula, common name is Bellflowers, and it's the perfect addition to any cottage garden. And Veronica Speedwell, they occur in swamps and moist meadows and marshland, or in open woodland, to dry sunny meadows and scree. Frankly, it seems they grow almost anywhere. Now, your question, here we go. What is the predominant colour of the flower of plants from the Gentian family? Are they blue, red or orange?
I haven't got a clue, so I'm going to guess and say blue.
Well, because it's your favourite colour. Correct answer. Yes, indeed. It couldn't be anything else, could it, really?
No.
Absolutely. Gentian violet, of course, in the blue end of the spectrum. I'm going to take some of these plants into the garden,
Okay.
see what they've been making all the noise about earlier on. All right, see how they're getting on, have a chat with Tim. Then I'll come back and we'll do your last question, and you've got a little DIY project to do as well.
Okay.
Okay. Very nice work, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice. You are obviously the perfect man to be preparing something for presumably turf here,
Yes, hopefully,
because
yes.
you have obviously got very big feet for, you know, getting rid of the air pockets. Because what size are they?
11.
11. That's how you got in the police force then.
Exactly, yeah.
Excellent. I'm just learning all these things from her indoors. Anyway, she's done this for you. She's
lovely.
got all the plants up for grabs so far.
She got mine?
Yeah. Are you impressed or what?
Very.
Surprised?
Yeah, shocked to say the least.
People at work be a bit surprised, you think?
I'm not telling them.
You got a lot to do.
Yes.
I mean, the seed's got to grow before you can mow it. Crack on.
Yeah.
Just have a chat to Dave. How are you doing?
Not too bad, mate. How are you?
Very nice. I like this.
It's neat, isn't it?
It is very neat indeed.
Very neat and tidy.
And for somebody who looks the way you do, you are a real attention for detail man, aren't you? Look at this. Little delicate.
Attention, that was a shrouded compliment if ever I've got one.
It was. It was. Anyway, I've got something for you.
What you got? A banana. Thanks, mate.
Andy,
Mark!
Mr. Circle Man today.
Yeah, what do you reckon then? Well, it was very square, wasn't it, this garden? And I thought, put some circles in it, pretend it's not square.
All right, so you got the big circle,
Yeah, and we've cut that into the patio there.
which it actually transforms what is a very boring patio in terms of all the square slabs, isn't
And
it?
we've hardly had to change the patio at all to do that. Then over here we've got a circle of stone, because you can get these circular stone things all pre-cut. So that just slots in here.
Very nice.
Now,
What is that?
that is a dog run.
So I'm actually quite tempted for a little sleep in there. It looks quite cosy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See you later. Now, garden's looking great.
Is it?
Really good. You're going to love it. I'm absolutely sure you're going to love it. They're very pleased you got the plants so far, and they really want this group, okay?
Okay.
And the group up for grabs are the shrubs.
Shrubs.
First one up is Rocky Road Lavender. It has a truly delicious scent. It's used in soaps and perfume, in cooking and potpourri, as well as in bags to freshen laundry and wardrobes. Phygilius Summerford Funfair wine is the same family as the Penstemon, comes from South Africa. It may spread extensively by suckers in the right conditions, but it is a hardy shrub. And finally, Hebe Purple Pixie. It's also part of the Penstemon family, and it grows in a wide variety of habitats, ranging from rocky sites and cliffs to scrub and grassland. One of my favourites. So here's your little question for the shrubs, all right? We have 3 things of a plant orientation on the table and 3 cards, okay? I'm going to turn the cards over, and all you got to do is match the right card with the right thing, okay? So with brassica, fruit, tuber. So have a think about that. Decide which card goes with which. Off you go.
Okay, well I know that one. I know that one's right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Very confident. It's the most confident you've been all day. Gonna go for that?
Yeah, why
Oh,
not?
why not, eh?
Yeah.
So, the old tomato,
Yeah.
you think is a fruit?
Yeah.
Absolutely bang on the button there.
It's cabbage.
Yeah, do you know what brassicas are? That's been the sticking point, really, is it? Okay. Brassicas, things like kale and sprouts and cabbages.
Yay!
Yeah, so that's a tube potato. Fantastic. You have spent a week worrying unnecessarily, madam, haven't you?
I know.
You're sorted. Everything's
you.
gone. Or will do in a minute when those are taken round. They'll come and fetch those from the garden.
Okay.
And then all you got is a little DIY challenge, which you will sail through.
Dave has done a fantastic job of laying this stone circle here in the corner for the seating area. He's put a fawn on it so it all slopes down so any rainwater will run off onto the lawn and won't puddle on here. Now this is an Indian sandstone. It comes in a huge range of colours, but it's also fantastically hard wearing and incredibly cheap. Much cheaper in fact to ship it all the way from India than it is to bring it down from Yorkshire on the back of a lorry. I know it's crazy, but there it is. But because it comes from India, it's often full of spiders and snakes and things in the pallet when it comes in, when it's imported. So the blokes won't handle it in the yard without gloves, just in case. Now I've used some more natural stone over here, and this stuff's from closer to home. It's a rounded beach pebble. And I've chosen this because it's a fairly decent size, and because they're going to have a baby soon, I've got these big stones so the baby can't choke on it. And also using this larger stone means that cats won't use it like a litter tray. We're putting it down here. I've got this weed suppressing membrane down first to stop the weeds from growing up because it excludes all the light. But the rainwater can still percolate down through and water the plants. Put the stones down, a couple of inches deep. That'll weight it down. It'll look good as well. And it's very, very quick to do.
Why is it you get the chair?
Rest the feet.
I'm tired too, you know. But not as tired as you are.
No.
How are you diddling?
Okay.
About 2/3 through the day.
Yep.
How excited are you about your garden and what's going on there?
Nervous as well.
Are you? Are you? Because I've never been in that position, obviously, where it's been my garden being done, so it's difficult to imagine quite what it's like being right next door to it, but having no idea what they're doing.
I just want to run through and have a little look. I keep getting told off.
And so you should. One more little thing for you to do.
Yeah.
Little project, which is a planting project. Okay, we've got some lovely herbs here, some rosemary, thyme and oregano, which I want you to plant up in 3 rather lovely galvanised containers so you can have it as a kind of little kitchen herb garden. Okay? They haven't got any drainage holes in, so you're going to need to bodge those in. You've got a screw there, gently with the hammer, okay, and knock those into some drainage. You've got compost down there. Now, obviously we want to make it very child-friendly, this garden. Now, if you use anything like gravel, obviously a child could put that in the mouth. So we've got some child-friendly gravel for you.
Okay.
Okay, which is quite small. That no child is going to put this in their mouth. I absolutely promise you, okay? All yours. We'll be back later. If you need a drink or anything, you only have a shout.
Thank you.
Project time. What do you want me to do?
Right. What I want you to do is...
Did I tell you that's a latch?
You did, yeah, you mentioned that. Now,
Okay.
what I want you to do is take that latch,
Yeah.
fix it onto this bit of fence thing.
Right, so that's half of one of the panels you got for the dog run.
Exactly, and I want you to make it into a gate for the dog run.
Okay, so it's pretty much there already, isn't it?
You haven't got a lot to do. I wanted to do something really difficult for you today, but unfortunately it's turned out quite easy.
Is it? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'll
Brilliant.
sort that out.
Thanks, Mark.
No worries. See you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. I love all your work.
Cheers. Yours too.
Everything.
Tim wanted a big lawn and Tim's got a big lawn. Now what we've done is put a curved lawn in, which is going to be very, very easy to mow because there's no little corners or anything to get stuck in. And another thing to make it easy to mow is to make sure that that turf is higher than any paved paths or patios like this, so you can just run the mower straight over the edge and you don't have to worry about edging shears. Now the first thing you do when you prepare a lawn, take the old turf and weeds off, rotivate it or fork it over, and then you have to settle it, you have to compact it. And you can do that just by walking on it like shuffly footsteps, and that gets all of the air out, because if you don't do that then it will settle and you get divots in your new lawn. When you start laying, you can do this at any time of year with turf, apart from if it's frozen, because then you can't actually unroll it, but otherwise it's fine. In hot weather you're going to have to water it instantly. What you do, lay the turf out, but you have to lay it in a sort of a brickwork pattern with bonds like this so that they're not next to each other. If these all line up, then the edges dry out really, really easily, and then that will all die. So you've got to make sure you do that. Once it's down like that, water it in really, really well. Keep watering it every day in hot weather for a good few weeks until it's rooted in. And then you don't need to feed it in the first year, but in the following years, feed and weed a couple of times a year and your lawn will be perfectly green.
Very nice.
Well done.
Very nice indeed. I'll take them with it. Can't hang around. I've got a bit of a problem with the filtration system on the swimming pool. I'll come and get you when the garden's sorted, all right? Won't be long. Now the view from Holly's little house has changed quite dramatically. It looks absolutely gorgeous from here, and Holly herself has her very own garden. Courtesy of Dave, she now has a lovely area of turf. She can do bowls or something on it if she wants to, but she's nice and secure in here. She can't get out, courtesy of a gate. Very, very simple, made out of the same stuff as the fencing panel, just cut down with a little latch here and a door to let her out, so that if, like, kids are coming around to play with the little one when it's born, Holly can come in here, be nice and secure, and the children can play. Lovely.
This is Hebe Purple Pixie. It's a small evergreen shrub from New Zealand, and it flowers for weeks and weeks and weeks in the summer. You don't really need to do anything to it, which is what makes this so special. But if you are going to prune it if it gets a bit too big, only take a little bit off, because otherwise you could kill it. But otherwise, this plant will last for years. This is a French lavender called Rocky Road. Now you can tell it's a French lavender because it's got these petals that stick out the top of its head like some weird sort of hairdo. Now lavenders need a hot, dry, sunny position, and you have to prune them after they've flowered or they get a bit leggy. Now the best thing about this plant is in September you can take a cutting the length of a pencil like that, strip off the lower leaves, shove it in the ground, and that will turn into a new plant.
It's your big moment.
Nah.
The big horticultural brain teaser to get all the goodies in front of you.
Right.
All right, everybody's read. Look, they've all stopped work for you. Look, even the neighbours, look. Here you go, good luck, Tim. Quiet, please, Andy. Andy, quiet.
Am I ruining the suspense?
Yeah, it's a very important moment. What's the name given to the ripened seeds of the rose? Are they known as hips, haws, or husks?
Horse.
No, 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 no! Hips.
I don't have a...
No! It doesn't matter. You can always go down the garden centre and buy the lovely Leslie Ann some of this stuff as a little present, all right? You're finished for now. You're let off on bail until I come and get you later when the garden's finished.
Right, yeah.
Now, my big hand for Mr. Tim, the policeman! Yes! Woo! Leslie Ann, remind us all what your garden looked like about 8.5, 9 hours ago.
Overgrown lawn, weeds, holes, no flowers.
Take a look at it now.
Oh my god! Wow. It's a
Well,
Holly.
yeah,
dog run for Holly.
That's the dog run
I
over there.
know.
You can train her to use that as well, because you can do a word command associated with her going to the loo in there when
Yeah.
she needs to, last thing at night or whatever, so she's not actually doing it on your lawn. We've sorted out your very dodgy
Yeah,
paving
the
area.
death trap.
And look how easy that is to make it actually a
That's
really
lovely.
nice little feature, isn't it?
You want no weeds will grow up through there. Be piece of cake to look after that. Very low maintenance this garden now, what we've done.
It's a circle theme as well, because you'd never think of doing that yourself.
No. Do you like that?
Yeah, because I hated the fact that the garden was so square.
It takes the eye off the squareness, doesn't it, with
Yeah.
the circle like that. You're not
But you've
so
still got
aware
the
of edges,
borders as
are you?
well,
Yeah.
which is really good. The end to a perfect summer, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
How gutted are you that you haven't got the urn and the pots and all the rest of it?
Doesn't mean anything. Because I've got this.
There
It's
you are.
lovely.
You see, I told you it wouldn't matter.
I know.
But he has promised to go and spend a huge amount of money at the garden centre tomorrow.
That'll do. That'll do.
Bye! Say bye to Holly, by the way. Take care. Great day. Thank you. You over-ordered, mate.
Yeah, usually do.
What went wrong?
Well, you know, do you want it?
They're going to
Have
beg
that
it.
if you like,
They're
yeah.
going to beg it.
Yeah. Stick it in your car.
Excellent. No, I'll drag that home. Yeah. We'll see you next time. Boys, give us a hand. Come on.
You can do it yourself.